In this vast and intricate world, every individual plays a unique and vital role in sustaining the greater society. Imagine, if you will, the human body as a living organism, with each member of the community resembling a single cell that contributes to the greater whole. The cells come in various forms, each with a specific purpose, and each assigned to specific tasks that keep the body alive and thriving. The red blood cells, donning their vibrant crimson hues, are responsible for transporting life-sustaining oxygen to the vital organs, which they dutifully do through the intricate network of blood vessels. In stark contrast, the white blood cells, appearing in a pristine white, are the defenders of the body, fiercely battling against any foreign substances that threaten the health and well-being of the larger organism. But in the depths of the darkened corners, we find the black-clad killer T cells, single-mindedly seeking out and destroying cells infected with viruses, and the gentle and nurturing pink macrophages, diligently cleaning up the body and keeping it free from waste and debris. And finally, the platelets, who resemble sweet and innocent kindergarten children, work tirelessly to repair any damage to the blood vessels, ensuring that the larger organism remains whole and functioning. Our story follows the life of John, a young red cell, a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed newbie to the system, on his mission to carry out his duty of delivering life-giving oxygen to the cells in need. With the help of a company video that details each cell's purpose, John eagerly takes note of everything he needs to know about the various cells, their functions, and the routes he must follow to complete his task. But as with any new job, there are hiccups and bumps in the road. On his first delivery to the stomach, John loses his way and arrives late. The chief stomach cell, although visibly upset with his tardiness, takes the time to explain the cause of the delay and introduces him to the stomach cell community. But it becomes apparent that the video he watched was recorded during a time when the body was healthy, and times have changed. Overwork, sleep deprivation, overeating, and drinking have increased everyone's workload, and the body is struggling to keep up. Undeterred, John completes his first task and embarks on his next delivery of the day. It's on this journey that he meets Chad, a seasoned red blood cell who recognizes John's inexperience and offers to lend a hand in delivering oxygen to the brain. Suddenly, carbon monoxide is released from the blood vessel vents and turns the remaining red blood cells into dangerous zombies. Out of nowhere, a bacteria called pneumococcus appears, which causes pneumonia and kills cells to absorb nutrients. The bacteria attempts to attack, but Sasha intervenes and defeats the bacteria before they can harm Chad and John. Chad instructs John to make another delivery while he sacrifices himself to finish delivering oxygen to the brain. John attempts to follow Chad, but Sasha stops him and they both investigate the lungs to find the cause of the poisonous gas. They discover the lungs are extremely dirty, filled with tar, and are informed that the human body smoked once again after 10 years. During John's third delivery, he observes the mouth is on fire and a group of bacteria attacks, but Sasha and her team arrive in time to defeat the new threat. However, a flood suddenly occurs when a human gargles mouthwash, endangering the white and red blood cells in the mouth. Everyone manages to survive, and John returns to his team, but things get chaotic when the sprinklers on the ceiling spray alcohol. A veteran red blood cell shows the rookies how to handle the situation and takes them to the liver to detoxify themselves with ADH and ALDH, and they enter a hostess bar. John notices everyone having a good time but feels unhappy due to the memory of Chad's sacrifice. He refuses to consume his ALDH drink and starts to rant about how they risk their lives while the organ cells live a carefree life. One of the veterans splashes ALDH on John's face to calm him down and reveals that the hepatocytes in the liver are also overworking and suffering from liver failure. In the bustling world of the human body, the red blood cells are on a break, savoring the sweetness of life. But their moment of bliss is shattered by the sad news of the veteran's passing. The old-timer, who had dedicated his life to keeping the body running, is now being recycled into nutrients by a cup. As the red blood cells gear up for their next mission, they receive a crucial announcement from the brain: they must enable the reproduction. John is thrilled to be a part of this important task and heads to the testes to see the male reproductive cells grow into sperm. However, their job is not without its challenges. The body is stressed, and many red blood cells die in their attempt to create an erection. But the miraculous medicine, sildenafil, better known as Viagra, saves the day and allows the red blood cells to carry out their mission. But just when things seem to be going smoothly, a new threat emerges, an STD that infects the body. The white blood cells are struggling to fight against the bacteria, and the red blood cells must regroup with them to figure out their next move. As they gather in a lymph node, the captain of the white blood cells reveals that gonorrhea cannot be cured naturally. Meanwhile, during his next delivery, John witnesses a heated exchange between the red and white blood cells, with Ken and his red blood cell comrades accusing the white blood cells of not doing their job properly. In this exciting tale, John and his fellow red blood cells face numerous challenges while carrying out their critical duty of delivering oxygen to the body. Despite facing obstacles such as the death of a veteran, a stressful body environment, and battling dangerous bacteria, John remains determined to complete his mission. Along the way, John learns to appreciate the work of the white blood cells, who keep the body safe and healthy, and even gets the chance to contribute to the creation of new life. However, he also witnesses the devastating effects of an STD and psychological stress on the body, leading to inflammation and hair loss. Despite these challenges, John and his comrades never give up, using their skills and determination to overcome each obstacle and keep the body running smoothly. With their heroic efforts, they ensure that the body stays healthy and functioning, even in the face of adversity. So things go from bad to worse when a helper T cell goes crazy and sends out cytokines, making the killer T cells even crazier and causing some backup battle droids called steroids to come in and hold them back. Somehow, John manages to save some hair roots, but he's starting to question why he's working so hard in this crazy environment. Later, John and Ken head to the kidneys to get cleaned up after a messy delivery, only to discover that the kidneys are just as overworked and stressed out as everyone else in the body. The boss, Gran, tells them to stop complaining and just do their job quietly. As the body's condition continues to worsen, the boys accidentally get in the way of a kidney stone and things get really messy. Although they manage to break up the stone with a tube, it leads to a dangerous bacterial invasion called acute pyelonephritis. John tries to evacuate the glomeruli while white blood cells fight off the bacteria, but Gran won't allow it. Just when things seem hopeless, Gran sacrifices herself to protect her team and the rest of the body. After some antibiotics and hard work, John and Ken are on to their next mission, delivering oxygen to the lower part of the body. But they encounter another disaster in the form of a blood clot, and a senior red blood cell even tries to take them out. Luckily, their trusty ally Sasha swoops in to save the day. But it's not over yet. The blood clot breaks up and starts killing more red blood cells, until it gets stuck in a crucial artery and the body can no longer breathe. In a world where cells work together to keep the human body healthy, John the red blood cell is a hero. He has a brilliant idea to send some of his red blood cell comrades to the lungs through the brachial arteries, in order to supply oxygen and save the body from a deadly blood clot. Sasha, a white blood cell, thanks John for his hard work and quick thinking, and all seems well for a time. However, the body is soon attacked by a stomach ulcer, and some of the red blood cells start to die in the acidic environment. Ken, one of John's friends, runs away in fear but eventually returns to fight the infection. It turns out that H. pylori is the culprit, and the white blood cells fight a hard battle to eliminate the infection. During the fight, John is splashed by stomach acid and Ken tragically falls in and dies. John is convinced that Ken is still alive and goes a bit crazy, but is snapped out of it by a gas exchange cell. Months later, the body develops a painful crystal in its big toe. The white blood cells attack it, but to no avail, they only end up causing inflammation in the surrounding area. Meanwhile, John has disappeared from work and starts to wander aimlessly, blaming himself for Ken's death. He eventually ends up at Ken's old home, still consumed by guilt and grief. Despite everything that has happened, the body manages to figure out that the crystal is uric acid and that it is causing gout. However, John suddenly shows up and starts attacking the body, convinced that there's no point in helping it since the human doesn't care about its health. Sasha tries to reason with him, telling him that Ken's death was not his fault and that they should take care of the body to honor their deceased friend. Eventually, John breaks down in tears and the body takes colchicine to treat the swelling and reduce the injury. In this tale of cells and their battles within the human body, we see themes of heroism, tragedy, guilt, and redemption. Despite the challenges they face, the cells continue to work together to keep the body healthy and strong. As our story unfolds, we find ourselves observing the inner workings of the human body. Blood vessels, the highways that transport life-sustaining blood throughout the body, are under attack from the insidious forces of cholesterol and blood clots. John, one of the red blood cells tasked with the crucial job of delivering oxygen to every corner of the body, has been feeling a bit down lately, lacking motivation and purpose. But then, thanks to Sasha's encouraging words, John is filled with a renewed sense of energy and drive, returning to work with a newfound zeal. He even takes on the responsibility of coaching new employees and leading them on deliveries. However, even as John works tirelessly to keep the body functioning, the blood vessels continue to be clogged with plaque, making it difficult for him and his fellow red blood cells to do their job properly. Suddenly, disaster strikes as the coronary artery becomes completely blocked, resulting in a devastating heart attack. The brain cells, who act as the body's control center, quickly issue a dire warning to all the other cells, advising them to cease work as the body is teetering on the brink of death. The heart stops beating, and the body grinds to a halt. Yet, even in this desperate moment, John refuses to give up, finding a new source of inspiration and determination to continue fighting. With dogged persistence, John sets out to search for oxygen, attempting to revive the heart and save the body. A team of skilled medical professionals steps in, performing CPR on the heart to try and get it beating again. John rallies the other red blood cells, urging them to work together to deliver oxygen to the body's cells, even in the face of difficult conditions and obstacles. Slowly but surely, the efforts pay off, and the heart begins to beat once more. As the body recovers, it starts to make better choices, eschewing unhealthy habits like smoking and drinking while embracing a healthier lifestyle. The brain becomes less stressed, and everything in the body starts to run more smoothly, with each cell performing its vital task with greater efficiency. But just as things seem to be improving, disaster strikes once more. While on a delivery run, John runs into Sasha, and the two share a touching moment of camaraderie and admiration. However, their happiness is short-lived as a sudden attack injects a deadly syringe into their blood vessels, whisking them away to a new body, one that is even worse off than the one they left behind. The future is uncertain, and the struggle to keep the body alive continues.